In this section, we continue with our introduction to SmarteScript, the next generation of automated testing tools. Here we will discuss the interaction with objects in the object tree. In the previous section, we learned the individual objects that form the foundation of our test. Each of those objects we learned is contained in a tree view to the left. We can identify those objects in the tree view by right-clicking and selecting Flash. This will bring up a yellow highlight window around the individual object so that we can identify it in the user interface. Let's select Use and flash on the object. Same for Sign On. At this point, I will step through and rename several of the objects. As you can see, the renaming process is quite simple. Right-click, select Rename, and enter the new name. Now that we have learned and renamed the objects that we want to use in our business process test, it is time to consider the interaction of the objects. Our interaction with these objects is driven by the grid you see to the right. As you will notice, each item in the tree to the left is represented in the grid to the right in the same order. If you have an object you would like to interact in a different order, you can click and drag that object within the tree view. Any changes made are reflected in the grid. If you do not wish to use an object as part of the test, remove the tick mark from it, which will remove that object from consideration for the script. To begin building our test script, we begin placing actions into the grid, very similar to how we would use a spreadsheet. For username, we enter the email address. Password, enter the password. For sensitive passwords, SmarteScript has an attribute called masked. If we set it to true, the password we entered is masked so that unauthorized people can execute the test but don't know the password. We'll reset this back to false. As we encounter an object we want to click on, we select Action for that object. We want to click on Sign On. Then where the Withdraw Funds button is displayed, we want to click on that. The next object in our grid is the account number combination box. You notice that SmarteScript not only learned all the individual account numbers, but also added additional values such as random and sequential. These allow us to create test scenarios where the next item in line is automatically selected by SmarteScript. For now, we'll just select an account number. For the withdrawal amount, I'll enter $10. And then we click on the OK button, and finally click on Log Out. Now that we have created our interaction, I'd like to identify a test scenario by highlighting the row or rows upon which my scenario exists. Once I highlight the rows, I right-click and define the row or rows as a scenario, giving it an appropriate scenario name. If you notice, across the bottom of SmartScript are 4 tabs. The first tab is the grid view, which we are now displaying. I'll click on the next tab, which is Scenario View. If I expand this scenario, you will see that SmartScript has created a natural language version of the test script we are attempting to complete. This concludes the interaction section of our demonstration. In the next section, we will enhance our test script by taking advantage of the SmartScript wizards. Thank you very much for your interest in SmartScript, the next generation of automated testing technology.